Hi everyone, happy Saturday. Looks like we are up to part 5 in our coloring book collection videos. This week and weekend did not go as planned, but I do want to go ahead and get this out. And yeah, so I can talk a little bit at the end of the video like I always do. Though there's not really much I can say. Well, worry about it then. So we are going through my coloring book collection. This is part 5. We are still in the C's in my alphabetically stored bookshelf. And so today, of course, we're going backwards because of the way I stacked them. We have Nicollet Deaf Fray, Coloring Heaven, Crayola, and Color It. I have quite a bit of all those. Hi, BMO. Oh, BMO. BMO is out and about. She gets in an occasional squabble with a cat. Well, I guess I'll talk about that at the end too. But she was in here rubbing against my legs. Hang on. There we go. But I have quite a few Coloring Heaven books, and so I think this will be a good number to get through here. My next group is going to be Creative Haven books. And I feel like there might be some definite purging in that series. I don't know. A lot of those books I'm keeping for nostalgic reasons, I think. But anyway, so we are going through my collection. I'm showing you guys my finished pages while we go through, and I'm also destashing as we go through, which has been relatively successful the last 2 or 3 episodes. So we'll see what we decide today. I think that's everything. So let's go ahead and get started. So Nicollet Deaf Fray, I want to make sure I say that right, has some books out. I ended up, I think, getting both of these from Etsy, which I think these have slightly better paper, but they are also on Amazon. I also got her Colors of Autumn, which I don't think I could find other than the digital copy. So we'll start with that one first. Maybe. Are these mini images? No. Yes. Okay. So I had downloaded this, and then she reminded me that there were bonus images that came along with it. Which I just printed on copy paper for now, but I will eventually do on really nice paper. And so it's this 2-page, like, full scene, really, if you wanted it to be. Well, it's not really a full scene, but you get what I'm saying, I think. Maybe it's this way. I don't know. Anyway, they're out trick-or-treating. And there are, of course, cats involved. Ooh, some evil-looking cats, too, from the way their eyes look. And then you've got this page as well, which I really like. I would like to do one or both for Halloween this year. I was planning on it, but you know how that goes. So I did do these 4 thumbnails to a page. Now, I might link to her Etsy store since that's a little harder to find. Somebody did ask, and I haven't had a chance to respond to comments yet this week. Somebody did ask if I would provide the links to these books. It would take me a good probably 30 minutes to an hour to compile the link list for these books. And I'll be honest with y'all, my time is so limited. I really don't want to spend the time doing that. However, if there is a particular book that you're interested in and you are having trouble finding it, you can always leave a comment and I will try to respond quickly with the link. I like that one there, the little scenes. And this one with the kitty, of course. Now she does have a Colors of Christmas, which I have not gotten. I would like to, just to, complete the collection of sorts, but again, as we know, Christmas coloring is not my favorite coloring, so it's not a slight to any artist in particular when I don't get your Christmas books. It's just I don't like coloring Christmas all that much. Colors of Daydreams is her older book. It is I feel like it's taller than a standard 8.5 by 11 coloring book. And where is one? That's not one. Here's one. Yeah, just a little bit. It is slightly taller. Her printed version, which is a little pricier on Etsy, but for the better paper, I think it's worth it. Oh, right. Why I was doing a full flip through just because those were easy to do, but this is where we're just showing different images. I always get those confused. There's Colors of Daydreams. And then I think this is her latest one, Colors of Treasures. Very cute. I have one list. Oh, because it's a pirate picture. Yep. I do love me the pirate pictures. I apologize if you can hear mowers in the background. It is a really pretty day, and I'm trying to do this video while everybody's out there mowing and making a bunch of noise, so then I can go outside and enjoy it. But if you hear them in the background, sorry, I have the door open so the kitties can go outside. Oh my gosh. Yeah, y'all can see my rough little desk here. I want to get another adjustable desk over here. Honestly, this is a really heavy solid wood desk, and I just don't want to take it apart. Oh my gosh. Coloring Heaven Junior. I have a couple issues of this. I got the Fairies and Friends. Actually, I will link to their site too. They have a digital downloads for some books. Not all of them, but for some of them. I think this is Molly Harrison. I used to subscribe to them. I was getting books, and there were some books I didn't want. And then this coming from the UK, which is not the fault of Anthem Publishing, a lot of times they'd be severely delayed. So like the Halloween or the Christmas issue would show up like with no time to really color in it before the holiday. Not that I'd ever get around to it, but I didn't have the option. And so between those two things and then the cost of the subscription, I was just like, no, I'd rather just buy them piecemeal. If I get an issue or two that I like, sometimes they'll run a sale, which is where I picked up these Coloring Heaven Juniors. This is Little Witch's Halloween. I think there was a sale where I got like 5 issues for half the price I would have normally paid. Like, it was a really good sale. Might have been the last time I bought anything from Coloring Heaven. It's been a while. Starry Night Special. I just don't, well, there's a lot of books I don't color in very much. This feels like it has a ton of tiny details, but I would probably tackle them like with whole blocks of color. That one's real pretty. Oh, because these are exclusives. So how it works with Coloring Heaven is a lot of times they'll get an artist and they'll print maybe from some of their more famous books. And the downside to that is the size of the Coloring Heaven magazines, they're lengthy, like that Colors of Daydreams book I showed you. And so sometimes, depending on how the art was produced, it doesn't quite fit the length and the width, the dimensions of the page like this does. And so they'll have to convert the image either by shrinking it down or cutting off part of the image to make it work. And that's been like one of my biggest faults about it. I mean, I see why they do it, and of course, unless because this is all original art, it'd be incredibly difficult to do that. So I don't mind the shorter images like this, though, because they're a little shrunk, the details are all that harder to color. However, the Starry Night books that are available through Amazon come in the little square books, so that's why the images are like that. So if you see images that seem a little off dimension-wise in these, that's why. But these are exclusive to the magazine, so they actually drew them specific for this, so they are, of course, lined up. And I do like these much better just because the details are a little more spread out. Leroy, please don't be mean. Oh boy. Do I have to pause this and intervene? He is going to swat her good. Fantasy Creature Special from Selena Finich. And other artists. There's Chet Menton in here as well, which I kind of dig his stuff. Yeah, some of these have various artists, and then this is the Selena Finich. I don't have any of her Fadorables books, so I thought I would get these, plus they're larger images than they would be. Those are like sometimes mini book sized. So we have Anime Compendium. This is, instead of 40 images, this is closer to 50. These compendiums are collections from some of their other books, which come in handy when some of those books are sold out. So like this is Manga Fairy Special, Chibi Collection, Neko Girl Special by Dina Stone. I think I actually have this book. But like a lot of these books are sold out, particularly if they're older, because they don't reprint unless it's just a wildly popular book. And I think they're trying to get away from that and maybe offer those digitally to give people options. Animal Wonderland Special from Kanoko Agusa. I think a lot of these are in some of his books, like particularly Symphony of Animals. And so I try to tell you all that so that you don't see it and you're like, oh, something different from Kanoko Agusa. And so therefore, you know, you buy something that you already have a copy of. I already have Symphony of Animals, but it is a shorter book, and I actually really like that these are sized to be larger images. So surprisingly, these are sized appropriately for the book, which is a little surprising, but oh, I really like this picture. Maybe he had Kanoko, I'm not sure if it's a he or she. Maybe the original electronic files they were able to easily resize these. That could be it too. Or just the dimensions lined up well. I do have a completed page in here. This was a labor of love the summer that Annie passed away, and I was just feeling really lost. I was really struggling, and so it took a couple weeks on this. I think I used Castle Art, the soft touch pencils, and I just colored the cat like Annie, and yeah, I was really proud of this page when I was done. It's a rare occasion that I get in the mood to just do all pencil and all pencil shading and everything, and I just needed a distraction. So another Kanoko Gusa book. These are new and exclusive designs. This is the Enchanted Animal Special. This was celebrating 100 issues of Coloring Heaven. I do love Kanoko Gusa, and I love the fact that, again, it is fully like encompassing the pages. And so I was like, original artwork that does the large images, and the cats in here are hilarious. I was like, sign me up. I believe Kanoko Gusa is working on a new book too, by the way, and maybe some of these images will wind up in there. It's entirely possible. That is the husband that the wife drags to the store that just would rather be home doing anything but being in the store. Funny thing is, my husband and I both look like that if we have to walk in a store, so it's not just him, it's me too. So we have birds from Cocowayo. This is another collection. So they do have different types of books. They have like collections, they have compendiums. The collections are bigger. Sorry, I'm sitting here trying to figure out. The collections are bigger issues from that artist. The compendiums are from other Coloring Heaven issues. The specials are the typical 40 design. That could be from one artist, multiple artists, what have you. The collection can sometimes be just different artists as well. So it's a little confusing. You have to go to their site and just kind of look at the different ones. But we've talked about how much I like birds. How I have way many books of birds and I'm not coloring a lot of birds, which is funny. I have a lot of everything and I'm not coloring any of it right now. We have the Cats Compendium. This is 48 images from different Cats issues. I have some of these, but I didn't have others. So that's like from Fantasy Cats, from Witches, which I believe I have. Animal Wonderland. Again, some of these, but like this one here, I didn't have. The special number 21, that's cats. And isn't this picture beautiful? Like, look at these. It says by Francine Van Westering, licensed by Orange Licensing BV. So I have no idea what these are originally from, but they're just beautiful pictures. So this was the reason I picked it up, is there's some real unique images in here that aren't available. I have the Ivory Cats one, I think. Now, whether, like I said, I will give the website, and I think you go through their digital store through their site, but you know, I can't guarantee any of these are in stock. A lot of these are older issues because I haven't bought a lot of recent issues. So you might have better luck on eBay or Etsy if people are selling their issues. I'm trying to look. So far, I don't really have any that I want to destash. Here's Ivory Cats. This is by Leslie Ann Ivory. Reminds me a little bit of the Marty Noble Cats book, which has like a simple cat with a very detailed background like this. Some weird sounds. I think it's just coming from across the street. Cats 2018. Is this the one that's got them? Or is it another Cats issue? Might be Cats 2019. Oh, I was getting ready to color one here. Oh yeah, that picture. This picture I have wanted to color for years. Not that one. And see, there's a little bit of an overlap. Because I do this one right here. I know exactly what the colors are. I don't know. I get overwhelmed at the idea, and I mean, I know the problem right now, but like why I haven't done it in previous years, I couldn't tell you. Gee, Michelle, I actually have the book that some of these are from. Gee, Michelle, if I was new here, I'd get the idea that you like cats, and you'd be right. Witches special. You know what else I like? I like witches. Now this is thinner line art that I don't typically, oh, look at him trying to play with the wand. I don't typically go for thinner line art. Look, so you got the little witches arguing, then you got the little cats arguing. Y'all can kind of figure out why I picked this up, right? We have a combination of cats and witches. And the cats are doing adorable things. I have forgotten how much I love this book. It's very cute. He's hanging on for dear life back there. Elizabeth Alba. Now, if it's a book that's sold out and I see that there's an artist with it, a lot of times if you go searching for that artist on Amazon or Etsy or something like that, you can find some of their art. You know, you can find other books that have their art, like their own self-published books. So it may not be exactly what's in these, but it's still similar art. So there's that. Josh Lee. This is an exclusive. You notice I really get drawn to the exclusive stuff. A colorful adventure storybook special. It's 40 images, basically coloring your own story. And you can totally tell it's like a fantasy deal with her and this wolf or dog. And I was immediately like, yes, sign me up. I know I'm going kind of backwards. But there's actual text here, so you actually do have like an adventure. Whoops, would help if I pulled it back up into the camera. I really like storybook adventures and stuff. So You know what else I like? Fairies. And I have a lot of fairy stuff. Jana Prosperina Fairy Special. Now with these, if you need the specific issue number, I can give that to you in the comments. They've got a lot of issues, so it can get a little confusing. Because we have fairies, then we have fairies and friends. This is Meredith Dillman. Again, thinner line art, but I really like the imagery. I think I need to look. I feel like I bought a book, Fairies and Foxes or something by Meredith Dillman, and there may be some overlap of the imagery in here. And if there is, I might destash this one because the ones I have in there are going to be the ones that I want. So I need to go hunt for that. Halloween special. This is the number 54 Halloween special. So they do Halloween specials every year, but this has been a while. Carissa Rose, Vera Ma, aka Lemon Shortbread. Zoe Sadler. I like these a lot, the different potions and things on the shells. Vanessa Yotumato. I just like the compilation. Nikki Burnett. I just like the compilation of images this year. Coloring Heaven, I have to, Camille Feister. I have to be very careful about these because, you know, for UK books they are a little pricey because of the shipping, and I just want to make sure. As you can see, all my books are from older, or a little bit older, and I've become more mindful lately, so it just has to be something like that. Hinoko Gusa special, or just something that really stands out that might be a compilation from an artist I don't have any other art of, and I just really like how they did the art in the Coloring Heaven magazine. Christine Karen, Woodland Fairy special. Love this because they are the full size of the book in grayscale. Some of them are line art. Really love this. Actually, I've done a few in here. I know, shocking. I like she has all different ages in her books too. Fairy Stories special from Fabiana Attanasio. This does include some of the books I don't have. So this is art from her fairy tale books that I showed collection part 1 or part 2. This is from Snow White, which I do have. Now these at times can be cut a little weird because of the dimensions. There's Pinocchio, which I don't have, and it can be troublesome to find. Peter Pan, but like you can see, he's cut a little different. I obviously would have loved to have seen the hat and everything, but it's just due to how it was drawn in the image, or in the original art. So, Peter Pan. Do I have Peter Pan? Where did they go? Oh, yeah, I have Peter Pan. Hansel and Gretel, which I think is just damn near impossible to find anymore, unless you get a non-English version of the book, and even then, it's very difficult. and then Cinderella, which I don't have. And Beauty and the Beast, which I don't have. So that was my draw for this one. Is there were a lot of, there was 3 or 4 books in here that I don't have and might prove difficult to get. So I at least have some images. Cats 2019. I have 2 of some of my favorite pictures still to this day. They're a little wrinkled because, so the Coloring Heaven paper is better than Amazon paper, but like not by a lot. It's probably closer to Creative Haven paper. Just if you do use water, it's going to wrinkle, as you can see. But no, I got this one, and there's a lot of cats. I don't normally like food and cats and food. It's something about this art. I don't know if it's the simplicity of it or what, but I used watercolor pencils on these 2 images. They also look very angry, which I find just absolutely hilarious, as they should be, right? Being a cat burger and then being cat sushi. I want to put these up on my wall, and I still haven't. So let me see if I can order some frames or get my husband to make. We take scrap wood sometimes and just make random frames for pictures, just because frames can be expensive. And we have so much. I'll have to do a video one time showing you guys some of the art we have up on the walls, but we have a lot of unique art I've picked up from conventions, and we populate the house with things we like. It's a little weird. It's not, super matchy and aesthetic, but it's quirky and it's us. And so I should do a tour of that at some point. But anyway, Cats 2019. It's another kind of collection book. I love these ones from this Meg Takak. They're adorable. These are incredibly detailed and grayscaled. I don't know how I feel about these. Jess Erskine is the one that does these books. And I actually have, if I can find it, it's probably over here. Let me see if it's easily available. I'm not seeing it easily available. Okay, well, I was going to show you guys. It's called Cooking with Cats, and it's by Jess Erskine. And if you love this, which I love every one of these pictures, it's on Amazon, so it's Amazon paper. Go get that book. Like, if you can't get, I don't know if this one's available anymore, but if you love this one in particular, like this artist, that's where they come from. I liked it so much I bought the book just in case I want to color the images again. But I don't. This is the one exception with food. I just love every one of these pictures. Every one. Taken it like he's in a hot tub. And then you can see I've already taken my two pages out. So, yeah, I mean, it's pretty. I usually don't buy them if I don't like, almost all the images, but another Coloring Heaven collection, 48 Seasonal Designs by Ellie Marks. I don't have a lot of her work, so we're looking at winter, autumn, but I like her art. Of course, I like her animals and plants a lot. So we've got seasons. We've got adorable animals, which I totally forgot I had this. It says Sveta. Krause. I totally forgot I had this. When it says adorable animals, it's not kidding. They're weird little creatures that are doing weird little things, which is my favorite thing in the world. And him on the toilet, boy, he has had way too much honey. No wonder he is looking uncomfortable. I feel like this was a really unique set of art from Coloring Heaven books, and so I think I picked it up on that deal they had. So, oh no, something's gotten on this picture. I think it's the ink from this. That's a shame. Ah, well, you wouldn't really see it if I ever get around to coloring that picture. So those are my Coloring Heaven books. As you can see, with the exception of maybe one I've got to look at just for duplication purposes, I used to have a lot more than this, and I have done a lot of paring down over the years to just get to the core issues that I really love. And now I'm tempted to go to their site and look and see what else they have, but I shouldn't do that. I haven't checked in a while, but yeah, except for that one, not getting rid of any of those. So I do have a few Crayola books. I cannot remember how I got these. I feel like I don't see an Ollie sticker on them. Maybe it was Book Outlet or something. But these I feel like are really hard to find. They're Crayola from artists at Hallmark. And they're just these unique pages, like here's Whimsical Escapes, and they're just random pages that are kind of silly. But I don't know, they're fun. The paper feels for Crayola a book. They're one-sided, first of all. These are not like your typical kid coloring books, and I think that's what really drew me to them, was because they just had really unique art in them. You know, I don't know. As cute as this is, see, I colored a few images in here when I was really struggling to like do anything but just color a little bit. I colored in here. Water-based markers do decent in here. But I don't know. There's a part of me that kind of wants to destash this. Like, I would take out the pages that I've colored. They are perforated, thank goodness. And then just gift the rest. There's a lot of images in this book. There's 80. And they are really cute. But I think I don't know if I'll really color in it much more. So, yeah, I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to destash that one. Where am I going to put it is going to be the next thing. Alright, there we go. Then we have another one called Elegant Escapes. I don't like this one quite as much, but it still has real neat imagery. I don't think I've colored anything in this one. Nope, I did. Just a random flower page. Like, you know, some days you just really struggle, and like I have colored a few in here. Look at this. So I did this one with water-based markers and then used these little sticky gems. Now I did that page. So I've done a few in here too, but I think that's what I'm going to do is just pull those images out and destash both of these. This, however, I took a long time. It took me a while to finally find this. And let me get a drink of my coffee. It's been sitting over here getting cold. There we go. This is Well Dressed Pets by Crayola. There's 40 images. They are all one-sided. So again, this is a little step up from your typical kids books. But again, it is single-sided. And it has the cutest animals in it. All right, BMO. Thank goodness her growls are just dramatic. Aren't those cute? A little ferret. Oop. I just thought these are super cute. So we're keeping that one. Alright, now we're getting to the Color It books. So Color It is a brand of books that puts their books out typically ring bound like this on thick, like marker level paper. So it's like thick, smooth, cardstocky type paper. And they are a little higher price point. Don't make me pause this. Mood is tense this morning. But because of the paper, like, I totally see why. And they have a ton of books. I only have a handful, but there's a lot of theirs that I want, but I would prefer, at this point, I just mostly prefer seeing flip-throughs of books. It is a rare book that I order sight unseen anymore. And sometimes it can be difficult to find flip-throughs of these. So this is Eerie Enchanted. This is one of the more recent ones, fairy tale type book. They do have perforated pages, and there's usually like a blotter page here they provide that you can pull out and use as a background or as a blotter page for your books. These are incredible. I really, really like these. And I've used a variety of, I've used markers in these, I've used watercolors. Actually going to show you a feels like forever whip here of Puss in Boots, where I did a demo with watercolor. I think it was the Art Whale watercolors, and then some of the pearlescent Colorio colors. I don't know. I can't quite remember. But this was really easy to do. You can tell it's a little wavy, but it's not too bad. And watercolors did really well in this. I've used marker. I don't know if I used pencil much. That's what's going to be the test there. It's extremely smooth paper, and in my experience, softer pencils perform better on smooth paper, but everybody's results may vary. Actually, that would have been a really good thing to do the Arteza demo on, now that I think about it. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. There is a breakdown, I believe, somewhere that shows what fairy tale these are all from. And the cool thing too is these are a little more expensive, but you get 50 images, which is twice that of what you would get maybe in a typical Amazon book. Again, depending on the artist. Boy, he just letting it hang out. I know the Emperor's New Clothes and all that, but boy, that little feather tassel thing there is doing a whole lot of work there. Whole lot of work. Anyway, Very cool. This might be my favorite color book at this point. I just really love the fairy tales. Is it the blotter page that shows them? I could have sworn there was a page in here that had the full breakdown. So this was the blotter page here. I could have sworn there was a table of contents that showed what each of these were. Did I remove it? I might have. You know I did. And who knows where it is in this book. Rats. Ooh, that's another really good one. Where's it at? This one. I like that one a lot. Anyway, this is my favorite Color It book they've done so far. We have Goddesses from Color It. I feel like the art can be a bit hit and miss, and I'll show you why at some point here shortly. These are incredible. So here's my contribution. I did this when I was doing my Coloring with Markers series last year. I used this as a demo to show blending with markers. That's the beauty of this paper. It is built to handle blending of alcohol markers, and it's like a blending type paper, and so it makes it a whole lot easier. I showed you guys how I do that. Then I got tired and didn't want to do the rest of the picture, so I tried to black out the background. I should have done it with paint because you can still see the line art, but then I used shimmer paint around the edges and then glitter gel pen to finish it out, and I really like her. I was surprised this didn't get more attention on Instagram because I thought this was one of my more detailed, well done pictures recently. But anyway, I love being a very strong women power type myself. I love this imagery showing like warrior type women and goddesses and things like that, so love that. Some of them I feel are a little detailed, so like that one, look, this is what I tell my friends. This is what, if I had one tip when it comes to coloring, if it looks too busy and you don't want to color it, black it out. You may have to use a black marker, you may have to use black paint. If, like in this one, the line art shows through a black alcohol marker, but when in doubt, just black it out. I mean, like that made that picture so much easier when I just took away, I thought the background was too busy, and so I just took it away, and it's such a game changer. So yeah, this one actually has the listing of all the, some of my pages are starting to come apart here. I get why they perforated it, but I'm not a huge fan of the perforation in these books, because as I was working on that page and I kept going back and forth to it, the perforation slowly started coming apart. And so now I have loose pages, and I don't really like that because I keep my stuff in my books. This is all the different goddesses. And so the one I did, I cannot say her name. I can go ahead and just tell y'all right now, I'm not going to be able to say her name. Where is she? Oh. Aztec goddess is what we're going to call her. Anyway, beautiful book. Blissful Scenes. I've had this one for a while. This one's an older book of theirs, so it might have, again, they have a wide variety of artists. Usually they credit the artists on one of the internal pages if you don't see it on the cover. These are really cute. I think I have a tester page in here. Yeah, with the cupcakes. I've used sometimes for like markers and stuff like that. This is a really nice book. I wish they would put the landscape and portrait pictures all together though. It makes it extremely hard otherwise to flip this book. I like that one. You know, again, succulents are a thing that, like, I don't do really in real life. I don't bring any plants in the house because the cats will eat them or kick the dirt around or knock them off or do something. So I keep my flowers in the, garden outside. But I love, and I've never shown any draw towards succulents before. I usually just go with, regional flowers, but like, I love coloring succulents. I'm so drawn to those pictures. It's so weird. Now, I'm pretty sure I have a completed one in here. Pretty sure it was in here. It should be in here. Aha. So here's one I've done. I think I just tackled this with markers. I didn't even do a lot of blending. The one thing I tried was the Arteza Real Brush pens on this ivy and did a little bit of blending, and those worked out real well. And then I got kind of tired of doing that. I'm like, I'm just going to color with regular alcohol marker everywhere else. And I think I used them maybe here and here and said, yeah, let's just... this picture had sat unfinished for a long time, so... But it takes markers really swell. Really swell. All right, Michelle. All right, we have dragons. I have felt a lot of conflicting feelings about the dragon books. Some of the images I love. These I feel are weirdly inconsistent, like they use multiple artists. I actually prefer the imagery to usually be one artist in a book, I've come to find, because usually the difference between certain images is so abrupt that it just really throws me off. So I think that's one thing that really throws me about this one, is that a lot of the art does seem drastically different. Like, it's not, I don't think it's the same artist. But in looking at it now, I feel a little more positive overall about the images than I have in the past. I really thought about rehoming this one, but now that I look at it, I feel better about it now than I did. So, Dragons Volume 2, same situation. Now this says one illustrator, and then it was edited. So this one is thinner line art, but a lot more consistent imagery because it is the same artist. And again, little conflicted about it. This is getting exhausting, flipping this back and forth. Yeah, I don't know. I would probably be more apt to rehome this than the other one. And I bet it was the opposite way the first time I looked at these books. Because even though It's the same artist in this book. I don't know if I like his art as much overall as I liked the art in the other one. That one's really cool though. Yeah, you get pictures like this and you're like, oh dang, come on. Make this simple on me. Okay, you know what? We're rehoming it. Maybe. Let's see what else we got. Colorful Seasons. This is again 4 artists in this one. And again, not as much a fan of the multiple artists. Just because, like in the compendiums and collections and stuff of the Coloring Heaven, they can be drastically different, and it throws me off. So we're in autumn. Oh man. Oh, they started winter at the beginning in this book. I remember that now because I thought that was so odd. I was like, you always start with spring, right? And like now, they started with autumn. This is kind of like a seasonal, you know, like if you were going to color a book through the year, this might be a good choice. And it's very interesting because the first couple times I went through this book, I was like, man, I just don't know. And now looking at it, I'm finding far many more images that I like. I cannot talk today than I did originally. So it's really interesting to me how your tastes change and wane over time. Cute. Okay, yeah, so here's the winter stuff. The winter ones feel a little more detailed. Well, I guess St. Patrick's Day would still be considered winter in some cases. So I think it's different by the season. Like the artists each took a season, it kind of looks like. So it's not quite as jarring. I don't know. It just feels a little weird. But I like this book a lot more than I did the last time I looked at it. So we have fairies, which y'all knew there was going to be a fairies book. If there was going to be a fairies book, then I would be involved. This is probably my second favorite Color It book. Just making sure y'all can see. I really should be doing more marker blending. I have the markers to do it. And I usually love the results. And I love this because you have male and female fairies in this one. I really dig that. Maybe that's BMO's problem. Maybe she's got some little pixie or fairy on her back all the time and it's driving her nuts. So that's why she's grumpy all the time. Cats, Kittens, and Wildcats. This was a Happy Mail gift. I wish I could remember who had gifted this to me all those years ago, but I still love it occasionally when I get in the mood for Zentangle or Zendoodle type images, and of course, cats being involved. This is an older book. large, thick line art. I really like in doing this. I'm like, I want to go see what Coloring Heaven's doing recently, and I want to go see what color it's doing recently. And I actually wrote down what colors I was using, which doesn't do much good for me because I don't have my Prismacolor markers anymore, but maybe I can go back and try to finish that picture. Sorry. It's getting exhausting to flip back and forth. Now, I have one. I know I did in this one. I thought it was right in the front. Yep. I just did the book belongs to one. So, like I said, this is an older one. 2016. So I think it's kind of interesting to see the older books, and that's one of the reasons I do this collection, is so you guys can see some of the older books that may not, hopefully are still in print, but you know, may not be talked about as much these days. And yeah, so yeah, not a huge amount purged today, but I feel like these are books I've went through numerous times and that I've really pared down to like the ones that I genuinely want to keep. And so I don't feel like I sift over these, like I don't look at these very closely anyway. So 3 books is still pretty good, and pretty thick books at that. I think yeah, there are 50 images in these, but I was going to talk a little bit, but because I'm going to do that Arteza demo, hopefully Monday or Tuesday, when I publish it, I might just save stuff for a color and chat there. My demo is usually the first part's demoing the pencils or whatever I'm doing, and the second half is kind of like a color and chat. So you can decide what you want to listen to, what you don't. Yeah, so I do have a new flip through to show you. Yes, I did buy a new book. I couldn't resist. It's the Color Me Capybara from the Color Me series, and it was being, again, a rare one that I actually pre-ordered because I saw a few of the images and I'm like, oh, this, I think it's the cutest one yet. I'm going to show you guys that tomorrow. Monday or Tuesday will be the demo of the Arteza pencils on a page. I might do this whip, or I might do the Deborah Muller whip I have. I might do a little bit of both, and we'll try it on both just to mix things up. So who knows? I have a ton of Arteza pages to show y'all in the overall review, so it is one of my favorite pencils to use. So I have a lot more to show in regards to past colorings. That full review will be up. If I do the demo Monday, it'll be Wednesday. So I'll give a couple days between them. Then next weekend we will do either the supply and book haul or another collection video. And right now that's about as far as I got. So fingers crossed, today is a quiet day, that I'm actually going to take a break, make sure the cats are set. I'm going to move outside, and I'm probably going to record while I'm outside. However, I'll have to do a voiceover because my neighbors play the radio all day long, and of course they're out there now playing it, and I don't want to get hit with a copyright. If you guys can, and I've tested it, you guys can hear it. So, but at least I'll be able to color outside. So if you have a pretty day and you have a few extra minutes, grab you a book and some markers or pencils and sneak outside and color for a few minutes. It really, for the most part, it does wonders for my mood, unless I'm just really shot mentally. You know, it really does wonders for my mood. And it's been cooler, so this weekend's just supposed to be beautiful, 70s and 80s, and boy howdy, I'm going to take advantage of it. So anyway, thanks y'all for watching. Again, if you want a link to a specific book, please comment and I will be more than happy to try to track that down for you. In this case, because they're unique, I will link to Nicollet Deaf Fray's Etsy store and Coloring Heaven's site so that you know you're in the right place. So thanks guys, and bye for now.